Alright, what's going on, you fam? Raiyuden here. So it looks like the GT buffing train is full steam ahead. As you can see here, Super Saiyan 4 Vegeta has just got his Zenkai Awakening, and we finally have the data mines for his kit. So let's go ahead and take a look. I'm going to go ahead and pop him at 14 stars, and then we're going to go ahead and see. I'm really excited for this one. Remember, I haven't taken a look at this guy's kit or anything of the sort. All I know is, and the community agrees, he did not need much to be an absolute monster, and I can already see that this guy is probably going to be an absolute beast. I mean, you could already tell. I mean, his stat, all he really needed were Zenkai 7 stats with maybe one damage passive, and he's a monster. And let's look at this. I mean, 190k close strike defense, 185k blast defense. His blast attack is nearing 300k, strike attack 260k. He is 100% a stat monster. Now let's go ahead and take a look at his main ability. So his main ability before was giving him the ult, 25% to damage inflicted by allies for 20 timer counts, and 30% to special move, awakened, and ult damage inflicted by allies for 20 timer counts, which has now transitioned to... It's the same thing, I think. So he draws the ultimate, restores own health by 20% and ki by 20, which is understandable. That is your traditional ult. You also want to gain the ki to use said ult and maybe heal yourself, so he does exactly that. It looks like his damage passive for supporting allies, the damage inflicted passive, is still the same, 25% damage inflicted, 20 timer counts, and it looks like it's the same for his special move, awakened, and ult damage inflicted. So for his main ability, the only thing that changed was this line right here. His first passive is giving him 40% to damage inflicted for 20 timer counts and 40% to blast damage inflicted for 20 timer counts, and he gains 30 ki every time he enters the battlefield. With his Zenkai, that remains the exact same. They already knew that it was a fantastic passive. There's nothing that they needed to change. His second passive applies the following effects to himself. When the battle begins, he gets himself some card draw speed that cannot be taken away, -5 to the cost of his blast cards, which is great. And then, while this character is on the field, 30% to damage inflicted by the next arts card used when the enemy switches characters. With the Zenkai, this changes to... It's the exact same thing, but it has changed to 40%, as you can see here. So it's pretty much the same buffs as before, but it changed to plus 40% to next arts damage inflicted when enemy switches character while this character is on the battlefield. So it's a 10% boost. Makes sense. His first two passives were already great. There's no real reason to tinker them too much. But the real meat and potatoes are going to be what the third and fourth passive are, because we know that he gains a sustained damage cut passive as well as a new blast damage passive. So his third passive, the Pinnacle of Saiyan Energy. At Zenkai 3, he gets... applies the following effects to self when this character enters the battlefield. Plus 20% to ki recovery for 15 timer counts, -10 to special move arts cost for 15 timer counts, plus 100% to blast damage inflicted while enemy's armor is in effect. Pretty good. The additional ki recovery is going to be great for throwing out some extra cards because he does have that card draw speed with the reduced blast cost, so those two work together pretty good. And the blue card damage is not too bad. It really does work well with this right here. If your opponent is ever in an instance where they vanish from one of your attacks and you got a special move, well, 40% extra damage to that and the reduced cost means it's going to be pretty much pretty easy to get off. So pretty good. And then this is no biggie. This is always welcome because there are so many blast armor units in the meta, ultimates, all this other stuff. You may as well do some extra damage, am I right? And then his Zenkai 6 passive, a Rush of Hope. Reduces damage received by 15% until combo ends when changing cover. Oh. Applies the following effects to self when battle starts. Plus 15% to blast damage inflicted, which cannot be taken away. And reduces damage received by 15%, cannot be cancelled. So like we said, super minor, but do not be deceived. The combination of something this minor alongside his high stats is going to be very, very noticeable. So level 1 card draw speed, a 40% blast damage inflicted passive, paired with the 40% to blast damage inflicted alongside this, he will definitely be doing noticeable damage with his blast cards. Strike cards maybe not too much, just because he's only going to be looking at an additional 40% damage inflicted, so 40% for his strike cards, but he will definitely be doing a ton of damage with blast cards, so it's good to keep that in mind. But for sure he was designed with the thought of the other teams he could be run with. I'm already thinking of how Super Baby 2 would help him out as well. Now, looking at the Strike and Blast cards, I'm pretty sure they stay the same, and it looks like they do. The only difference being, there are no differences. They stay the same. So Strike and Blast cards remain the same. His blue card, in what way does it change? It already had the massive impact damage. We got, oh, look at that. The only difference now is, oh, it keeps moving around. It looks like the additional damage received for blast damage has raised to 30%. It was 20% before. So pretty good. It makes sense. I'm pretty sure fan-made Zenkais have noticed the same thing. Go up just a minor amount, because at the end of the day, he still has a Bonnered kit. It really just needed maybe a little bit of fine-tuning. His green card, so before, his green card was 20% to blast damage inflicted for 30 timer counts while removing attribute downgrades and abnormal conditions. With his Zenkai, it changes to this. It's the same thing, but now strike arts turn to blast cards, which is pretty good. Stop time event alongside getting your Forte card is pretty damn good, because we already know that he does a ton of blast card damage. And in terms of his ult, I'm pretty sure it's the exact same thing. Massive impact, 100% to enemy sustained damage cut effects, 30% chance to faint, and with the Zenkai, it is the exact same thing. So no big deal, makes 100% sense. Now his Zenkai ability, it looks like it's going to be Red and Vegeta family. Kind of surprising. I would have thought it would have been Red and GT, but it looks like they felt he would be better suited to be buffing Vegeta family because there's more longevity, and maybe they wanted to focus on that more. No big deal. The Red Vegeta is going to get it anyway, so it's no problemo. So overall though, I think that's a really good upgrade. It may seem minor, but when you combine the little additional damage inflicted for the blast cards alongside his Zenkai 7 stats with the Zenkai ability, it'll be definitely noticeable. He was already decent, but this is going to be just enough to make it so that he's a pretty healthy addition to your Saiyan GT Vegeta family teams. He'll definitely be putting a punch. Now, alongside that, we also got the Legends Road Piccolo Zenkai Awakening. So I'm going to put him at 14 stars just because we can get the event to get him up there. And with his Zenkai, pretty significant stats. He is a support type, is he not? So for his defenses to be this high alongside his offenses, that's kind of scary. It really is scary for a support unit to be so tanky. Another Legends Road edition too, huh? So what do we got? From his base form, I have not used this unit in so long that I may be forgetting certain things, but it looks like his main ability, Fusion of God and Demon, 35% to damage inflicted by ally regen or Legends Road characters for 30 timer counts, and inflicting all enemies with the attribute downgrade of taking 30% more damage for 30 timer counts. Both of these things remain the same, just their duration increases to 30 timer counts for both. No big deal. His first passive, shorten own sub count by 2 by default, applies the following effects to allies when this character is defeated, 30% to damage inflicted for 30 timer counts, and provides card draw speed. And his second passive is, when he goes to standby, allies do 30% to extra blast damage, have 30% additional key recovery, and then applies the following effects to allied regen or Legends Road characters. They get 30% more strike damage, and they heal 5% of their health. With the Zenkai, it is the exact same thing, but their duration increases, which makes sense really, there's no problem there. They're already really good passives for support. The third and fourth passive are going to be what's new. So at Zenkai 3, the following effects occur when enemy switches characters while this character is on the battlefield. You will gain minus 20% to enemy sustained damage cut effects for 15 timer counts, and you inflict attribute downgrade plus 5 to all arts costs for 15 timer counts. So a nice little debuff, makes sense as a support. And then at Zenkai 6, he gets a 40% to damage inflicted passive when he's on the battlefield, and then applies the following effects to self if a tag regen or Legends Road character other than this guy is a battle member. Plus 50% to key recovery for 10 timer counts. Whoa, plus 50% to Vanish Gauge recovery for 10 timer counts. Ooh. Seems like Piccolo is not just going to be a fantastic support, he's also going to be a little bit of a slippery character to hit. That's not too bad. It's a decent kit for a support unit, really. You don't really expect them to come out here and do crazy amounts at the end of the day. So that's not bad. Free support. Legends Road got a nice little buff. Thumbs up. I'm pretty sure Strike and Blast remain the same. Still that major explode multiplier. I'm not sure what's different with the blast damage received. Oh, it goes up to 30% when they're hit with the blue card. His green card, 20% blast damage inflicted for 20 timer counts while removing attribute downgrades in abnormal conditions. No problemo. And the Zenkai ability is yellow and Legends. Whoa, wait a minute, what? That is a lot higher. Traditional Legends Road characters gave so much less. Whoa. Oh, wait a minute. I think that's because the Legends Road characters, I think their old Zenkai ability was just Legends Road. It wasn't a type. Yeah, it was. Interesting. Oh, look at that. So they focused on a type and Legends Road, but buffed it up. Interesting. I'm surprised they went down that route, but no problemo, I guess. And then alongside these two Zenkais, which by the way, both of them look great. One of them for free, Super Saiyan 4 Vegeta getting the buffs that he needed. Like we said, 1 damage inflicted passive, Zenkai 7 stats with the Zenkai ability is really all he needed. So everything that he needed got checked off. His defenses were his biggest issue, and they are no longer going to be an issue for sure. Now, but alongside this, I believe there's a new Awakened equipment. This right here, I think this was originally for Legend. Oh, I'm pretty sure it was originally for Yellow. Oh, Legends Road and Yellow, but now all Legends Road characters can get this. And Awakened, the biggest crisis equip. So base critical goes up, strike attack or blast attack, and then some additional strike attack and defense. So not too bad. I'm really looking forward to using this Vegeta. I think he's going to be great. It's going to be a ton of fun. And if people don't have Zenkai 7 Gogeta or the Ultra Goku, this guy could be who you want to put on your Saiyan team or on your Vegeta family team. So we'll have to see. But anyways, hope you guys enjoyed. Be sure to look out on the showcase. Looking forward to showing off the Vegeta. I would probably get to the Piccolo the next day just because one showcase super late at night is enough for me. But anyways, hope you guys enjoyed. And until next time, peace.